The wide receiver class is absolutely loaded for the 2024 NFL Draft. This class has about 20 guys who I think could be very impactful players at the next level. One of the guys who I have become a bigger fan of as the season has gone on is South Carolina wide receiver Xavier Legette, a player who really burst onto the scene after the season opener against North Carolina, and he has shown that he could be a special player at the next level. But hey guys, if you guys are new to the channel, I have done a bunch of these prospect spotlight videos already. Leave a like on this video, subscribe if you are new, and leave a comment and let me know who you guys want to see me do a video on next. Your comments definitely help me figure out which players you guys want to see, so if you leave a comment, it really helps me out. Without further ado, let's get into it. Coming into the season, Legette was a player who was not on many people's radars whatsoever. He was an older prospect, and he really hadn't had too much production up until this point. In 2022, he only had 29 receptions for 167 yards and 3 touchdowns, and he was probably a late round or potentially undrafted player if he got selected at all. But after Juice Wells went down for South Carolina, Legette stepped in and was absolutely phenomenal in 2023. He had 71 receptions for 1,255 yards and 7 touchdowns, and he has propelled himself into potential first-round conversations. Legette has fantastic size for the position. He is tall, he is exceptionally strong, and he has great length. Standing at 6'3", 227 pounds, he has phenomenal size for the outside wide receiver position and is an excellent contested catch receiver. Legette also has a really nice blend of speed to go along with his size. He has a really quick first step and initial burst off the line of scrimmage, which is something that is very nice to see. He also has the speed to win down the field and has the ability to locate the ball in the air. His speed is very nice, and he is a guy who I think athletically checks every box that I am looking for. He's got the size, he's got the speed, and the most impressive part of his game for me are Legette's hands. Legette is a guy who doesn't catch the ball with his body. He goes up and tracks the ball in the air, and he high points the football, and he pulls it in. He has very soft, very sure hands, and it didn't look like there were many instances where he wasn't going to catch the football. Even with defenders draped all over him, Legette does an exceptional job of bringing in the football and making sure he secures the catch, which is something that I am a really big fan of with him. With Legette, it is a very limited sample size that we're getting. He hasn't been super productive other than the 2023 season, which could cause some teams to look away for a more polished and experienced player. Legette also is an older player, so those are both things that are not working in Legette's favor. Legette to me is lacking explosiveness in the open field. For some reason, he was not really quick in the open field, and he didn't showcase his ability to break tackles really at all. He is more of a downfield threat, which is great, and there's definitely a place for that in the league, but I would like to see him be a bit more elusive and electric after the catch, because I think he has the speed to do so. He just hadn't really showcased it at the collegiate level. Lastly, Legette is not an incredible route runner. He didn't break out of his route super quickly, and he did not create a ton of separation on his routes. He has such great hands and is a really good contested catch receiver that I feel it masked his lack of route running ability. I didn't feel Legette was amazing at gaining separation. This is something that I am definitely going to be monitoring with him as the offseason progresses. Even with these issues, I am a massive fan of Xavier Legette. His hands and physicality are elite and some of the best I have seen in the entire draft class. He is an incredible athlete, and he is a guy who I think has sky-high potential if he can fall into the right system. He is my wide receiver 6 in the 2024 NFL Draft. It's a phenomenal wide receiver class, but he is definitely in that upper tier for me. He is my number 29 player on my big board. Legette would work best in a vertical spread offense. An offense that he can line up wide, get a nice step off the line of scrimmage, and streak down the field. He needs to go to a system where he can get one-on-one matchups on the outside, where a quarterback can throw him these jump balls and he can go up and get them. I think this is where he's going to be the most impactful. He's got the speed, he's got the size to be an outside receiver, and I think he needs to go to an offense that is just going to stretch the ball down the field and get it into his hands. And I think he's going to be extremely impactful at the next level if a team can do this. From the moment I turned on Xavier Legette's tape, one comparison came to mind, and I haven't been able to stop thinking about it, and it's A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown is a guy who is a physical specimen. He has great size, fantastic speed, and great hands, all which Xavier Legette possesses. Athletically, I think they are very similar players. Legette, I think at his peak, could be as impactful as A.J. Brown, a guy who you can stretch down the field, and we saw what A.J. Brown did in this Eagles offense last season when they went to the Super Bowl. I think Xavier Legette can be an instant wide receiver one for a team and really help propel a team into Super Bowl contention. Xavier Legette has limitless potential. I think he has one of the highest ceilings of any wide receiver in this class, and if he falls into the right system, could be an absolute game changer from day one. Ultimately, I believe Xavier Legette will be a top 40 pick in the 2024 NFL Draft.